Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got some 1961 Milwaukee Braves baseball. It's September 12th. We got the Milwaukee Braves traveling to St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. And the starting lineup for the Milwaukee Braves, leading off playing right field's Lee May. Batting second and playing second's Frank Boland. Batting third and playing third's Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth playing center field's Hank Aaron. Batting fifth playing first base, Joe Adcock. Batting sixth playing left field is Frank Thomas. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, Roy McMillan. Batting eighth and doing the catching is Sam White. And on the mound, batting ninth is Bob Henley. Let's take a look at the hometown St. Louis Cardinals. We got leading off for the Cardinals playing center field's Kurt Flood. Batting second and playing second is Julio Sarvez. We got batting third playing first Bill White. Batting fourth playing third base Ken Boyer. Batting fifth and doing the catching is Gene Oliver. Batting sixth playing right field is Charlie James. Batting seventh playing left field is Don Teske. Batting eighth playing shortstop is Jerry Buchek. And on the mound, the battle of the Bobs, Bob Henley for the Braves. And we got Bob Gibson going up against the Braves for the Cardinals. Who will win the battle of the Bob? Let's go down to St. Louis and get this game started, folks. We got Thomas in the house. Been a while, Thomas. Nice to see you. And Tim D. This is Bob Gibson's 24th start of the year. He's got a 4.4 ERA. He's 6-12. He's got 4 complete games and 1 save on the year. First batter he'll be facing is Lee May. May's only hitting .239, starting to slump. 15 home runs, 36 RBI. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Gibson with his first strikeout of the game. And that'll bring up Mr. Frank Boland. And Frank is batting .285, 16 home runs, 75 RBI. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Kurt Flood's got that. That'll be out number 2. And then to bring up Eddie Matthews. Matthews hitting .305 on the year, 34 home runs, 113 RBI. And that'll be a base on ball. So Gibson strikes out 1, walks 1. And that'll bring up Hank Aaron. Can he make him pay for this walk? Hank's gotten his batting average back over 300, batting .302, 29 home runs, 103 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Gibson strikes out 2, walks 1. Matthews gets stranded at first. We go to the bottom of the first. Braves, nothing. Floyd, Javier, and White due up here. And you got Bob Henley on the mound for the Braves, making his 11th start. He's got a 2.66 ERA. He's got a 5-4 record. He's got 1 complete game on the year. And Kurt Flood will be the first batter he'll face, batting .261 with 2 home runs, 44 RBIs. And we start this game off officially now with a drop of the dice. And that's going to be a base hit into left field. Kurt Flood's aboard here with a leadoff single. Don't want that with his speed on. So Flood down at first. And that'll bring up Javier. And I think the Cardinals are going to hit and run here, try to stay out of the double play. So here's the hit and run. Javier is batting .273, 3 home runs, 36 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Only play for Matthews is over to first. That'll be out number 1. And Kirk gets down to second with 1 out for Bill White. So Bill White's batting 268 on the year. He's got 23 home runs and 78 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Bill, and that's going to be a big swing and a miss. And that's out number 2. Nice job by Henley. Needed that. Brings up Ken Boyer now with 2 outs with Flood down at second. And Ken Boyer's having a good year, batting .330. He's got 16 home runs, 106 RBIs. And that's going to be a base hit into center field. And that's going to score Flood. And the Cardinals take a 1-0 lead here in this game. Nice job by Boyer. That brings up Gene Oliver now. With a runner down at first and 2 outs. And Gene's batting .200 with 1 RBI on the year. And that's going to be a base on balls. All of a sudden, Henley can't get the 3rd out here, folks. That leaves you with 1st and 2nd for Charlie James. And Charlie's batting .274. He's got 5 home runs on the year, 37 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Henley gets out of the inning with only 1 run scoring. We get to the top of the 2nd. Cardinals 1, Braves nothing. We got Adcock, Thomas, and McMillan due up here against Gibson. Joe's batting .279. He's got 33 home runs on the year, 107 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. So Gibson's either striking them out or walking them. Joe Adcock will trot on down the 1st. That'll bring up Frank Thomas. Frank batting .268. He's got 26 home runs on the year, 78 RBIs. And that's not what the Braves is looking for. That's a ground ball down the short. And that's going to be a tailor-made double play. 6-4-3. And that's 2 outs now with nobody on. And up comes Roy McMillan now. Only batting .208. 8 home runs, 51 RBIs on the year. That'll be a ground ball again down the short. Bocek up with it over to Bill White, and that'll end the inning, so the walk doesn't cost them. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. We got Tusky, Bocek, and Gibson due up bottom part of the order. Don's batting .321 on the year with 4 home runs and 31 RBI. And that's going to be a fly ball down the left field line. Matthews goes out in the grass, makes the catch for out number 1. Nice play by Eddie. Hey, Big Clue. Yes, it is. I agree with you, Big Clue. And here comes Jerry Bocek up, batting a .169 with 3 RBIs on the year. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll be the 3rd strikeout for Henley, trying to match his counterpart, Bob Gibson. And speaking of Bob Gibson, he's up the bat here. He's batting a cool 100. He's got 2 RBIs on the year. Here's the pitch to Bob. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Frank Bolin. That'll be a 1-2-3 inning for the Cardinals. We get to the top of the 3rd. We got White, Henley, and back to the top of the order in May. Sammy's batting .211. He's got a homer on the year, and he's got 5 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field, and Kurt Flood puts on the Jets, and he's going to rob White of a base hit. And that'll be out number 1. Now brings up Bob Henley. Only batting .043 on the year. He's 1 for 23. Can he get on base here? And no, that's a fly ball out to center field. Flood has to go back playing shallow, but makes the catch over his head and robs Bob Henley of a hit. Kurt Flood out there committing grand larceny. Stolen 2 base hits. That brings up Lee May. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a pop up in the infield. And Bocek says he's got it, and he does. So the Braves go down in order in the third. We go to the bottom of the third. It's Cardinals 1, Braves nothing. Top of the order due up here. Flood, Javier, and White. Kirk singled and came around to score the only run of the game in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Joe Adcock. He's got it. Steps on the bag for out number 1. Hey, Bernie. And that brings up home Javier. He grounded out the third his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Lee May. And that'll be out number 2. That brings up Bill White now. And Bill, struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Eddie Matthews. And that'll be it for the Cardinals in the third. We go to the top of the fourth. We got Frank Boland, Matthews, and Aaron due up here against Gibson. Frank flew out the center field his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down. And we get to the big boys. Can they make some noise here against Mr. Gibson? And Eddie walked his first time up. And that's going to be popped up behind home plate. And Oliver makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down. That brings up Hank Aaron now. Can Hank finally do something here against Mr. Gibson? Hank struck out his first time against Bob. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Boyer. And that'll end the inning. And again, the Braves go down in order. Gibson's pitching a well of a game. We get to the bottom of the fourth. Boyer, Oliver, and James. Ken had that RBI single his first time up. And he gets a hold of this one off of Bob Henley. And that ball is driven into left field. It bangs off the wall, and that's rolling around. And Ken Boyer's running down the third, folks. He's got a triple, as Beatles would like to say. So that'll bring in the infield for the Braves. Doesn't look like Gibson's going to give up much today, so the Braves are going to try to get that run from scoring. You got Gene Oliver up now. He walked his first time up, and that's going to be hit down the second. And he's going to throw home. Nice play by Frank Bowen, and they're going to get the runner out at home. It was a contact play, so Boyer's out. Oliver's down at first now on the fielder's choice with 1 out. That brings up Charlie James now. Charlie struck out his first time up. Nice play by Bowen. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Can he make another nice play in turn 2 here? Over to short, over to Adcock, but James beats it out. And we got 2 outs now with Charlie down at first. And Don's up. He popped up to Matthews this last time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. So now they got runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Jerry Bocek. Let's see what Jerry did. He struck out his first time up. And he's going to strike out again. And that'll end the threat. The Cardinals leave 2 on. We go to the top of the 5th. We got Adcock, Thomas, and McMillan due up here against Bob. Joe walked his first time up. And he gets a hold of this one. That ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is going, folks. There goes the no-hitter and the shutout all in one pitch. Joe Adcock ties this game at 2 Braves. One swing of the bat. And that brings up Frank Thomas. He grounded into a double play his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Sorry, that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Frank out. Bounces back from that home run. Here comes McMillan up now. Mac get aboard here. He grounded out his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Kurt Flood for out number 2. And that brings up Sammy White. And Sammy He flew out the center his first time up. Curt Flood robbed him of a base hit. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield. And down at second, Javier calls for it, makes the catch. And that'll end the inning, but not until the Braves score one on the Joe Adcock home run. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It's all tied up, one apiece. Gibson, Floyd, and Javier due up. Bob grounded out the bowling his first time up. And that'll be a ground ball down the short. Max got it, throws across the diamond to get Gibson. Now we got Flood up. Came around to score the only run for the Cardinals in the first. And then he grounded out the first. And that's going to be a base on balls. That's what you don't want to do, is walk Curt Flood here first. So now you got one out here. Flood down at first. And Manuel, he's 0 for 2. He's popped up and flown out. I mean, he grounded out and flown out. And that's going to be a base on balls. And all of a sudden, Bob's walking himself into trouble. Now you got first and second and only one out for Bill White here. Braves would look for a ground ball, maybe get a double play and get out of this mess. White grounded out to third his last time up and struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Then they turn to Mac up with it. He tosses it over to Frank Bolin. But that's not going to be able to be a double play. He holds on to the ball. So you got first and third now. 2 outs. You've got Flood at third, White at first. And this is not who you want up. Ken Boyer, he's 2 for 2 today, folks. He's got an RBI single and a triple his last time up. Here's the pitch to Ken. And they finally get him out. A big swing and a miss. Nice piece of pitching by Henley. And that'll end that threat in the fifth. The Cardinals leave 2-1. We go to the top of the sixth. Henley's due up. And then May and Bolin. And Bob flew out to center his first time up. Got robbed of a base hit by Curt Flood. Here's the pitch from Bob to Bob. And Gibson wins this one with a big swing and a miss, strike 3. That's only the 4th strikeout by Gibson. We go back to the top of the order, and Lee May, he struck out and popped up the short. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. As soon as I said that about the strikeouts, here we go. Bernie just put a link in Facebook group there. Find out what the link's for here. And that'll bring up Frank Bolin now with 2 outs and nobody on. Frank flew out the center and grounded out the short. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. That'll end the inning. The Braves go down in order. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still tied up 1 apiece. We got Oliver, James, and Tusky up. Gene walked and reached on the fielder's choice. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. And Matthews boots that one, folks. That's going to be an E5. And Oliver gets on here. Oh, cool, Bernie. Bernie's going to be doing a broadcast at 1:30 on Saturday, folks. Check that out. That'll bring up Charlie James. He's 0 for 2, struck out and reached on the fielder's choice. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Aaron in center field. And that'll be out number 1. Brings up Don Tusky now. And Don is, excuse me, he's 0 for 1. He walked his last time up. And that's what the Braves needed, another big strikeout. That's Henley's 6th strikeout. He's outdoing Gibson with strikeouts. That'll bring up Bocek here, and he's 0 for 2, struck out twice. Can Henley get the hat trick here against Gary? And no, he can't. That's going to be a Oliver takes off and gets caught stealing, gets up and starts arguing, folks, and he gets tossed out of this game. I don't know what he was thinking anyway. Sure, he was out by a country mile, but got up and argued. So now we're going to need a new catcher. And I think they're going to bring in McCarver. He's going to come in to catch. Let's see here. They got like 3 catchers on the bench. I don't think Carver's not going to come on, batting left-handed. So let's see here. Oh, Carl come on here then. Good catch. Mean Gene got him a little too mean. That's for sure. Who did we bring in? Let's see here. Let's go with Schaefer instead. Go with Schaefer instead here. Say they got so many catchers on the bench. We'll go with Schaefer batting .255 on the year. Okay. He'll come in and bat in the 6 hole. And that'll be it for Oliver. And now back to the ball game here. What I do, put him in the wrong spot. Sure did. Put him in the wrong spot. Supposed to be in the 5 hole. Now we got it set. Okay. Gibson will be facing the heart of the lineup here. Matthews, Aaron, and Adcock. Game tied up at 1 apiece. Gibson's pitching a hell of a game. Just one bad pitch. Matthews has walked and popped up to the catcher. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Kurt Flood in center field. That'll be out number 1. Here comes the hammer. Hank Aaron. Can he do something here in the 7th inning and ignite these Braves? He's 0 for 2 today. And that's going to be a single into center field. And Kurt Flood, he muffs that ball, folks. Lets it get by him. And Hank Aaron's going to put on the Jets here, folks. He's going to end up down at second on that error. So a single and an error gets Hank in scoring position. And here comes the guy that scored the only run for the Braves, Joe Adcock. With Aaron down at second, a base hit. Give the Braves the lead here. Only the second hit off of Gibson. Like I said, the other one was the home run by Joe. Can he do her again, folks? And not this time. That's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Big strikeout for Gibson, his 6th of the game. So it's up to Frank Thomas here to break this tie. Take a 2-out base hit. He grounded out to short into a double play and struck out. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. And Gibson must have got pissed off at Flood out there, and he bared down back-to-back strikeouts, and that'll end that threat. Okay, for the 7th inning stretch. Yeah, exactly, Tim. That was a crazy game, wasn't it? So we got Bocek, Gibson, and Flood due up. And I think we're going to let Gibson bat. Jerry's 0 for 2, struck out twice. He was up to bat when the runner got thrown out, and that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Joe Adcock's got it. He touches the bag for out number one. Like I say, I think we're going to let Gibson pitch here, folks. Not taking him out. He's pitching a masterpiece, and the Cardinals bullpen isn't much to talk about. So Bob's 0 for 2. He's grounded out to second and short. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's Bob Henley's 7 strikeouts. So both of them's wheeling and dealing. 7 strikeouts apiece. And the score's tied up. Everything's almost identical. Here comes Curt Flood. He led this game off with a single and came around to score the only Cardinal run. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Joe Adcock. And that'll end the 7th. We go to the top of the 8th. It's still 1-1. We got the bottom part of the order due up here for the Braves. McMillan, White, and Henley. And we'll see if anybody gets on, whether we'll pitch hit for Henley. Mac is 0 for 2, grounded out and flown out. And that's going to be another fly ball out to center field. So 2 fly balls out to Flood. 2 outs for Mac doing that. Here comes Sammy White. He's been robbed of a base hit by Curt Flood. See if Sammy can get on base here. He's 0 for 2. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. And Sammy's down at first base with 1 out. And I think now you got a pitch hit for Henley with a runner on. He's pitched a well of a game, but got to take your chance here in the bottom of the 8th. See who the Braves are going to bring off the bench here. I think they're going to go with Al Spangler. They'll go with Spangler. Let's see here. It'll be Mac the Knife. I think it's going to be Al. Al's going to come off the bench here with Sam down at first. And I think you might even pitch run for Sam. I think Joe Torre. Well, we got all these guys on the bench. We got 2 catchers. So let's bring some speed in here. Let's see here. Not going to, Jones is not. Let's see here. Here we got some speed. We're going to bring John Detmer in. So first we'll bring in Al Spangler, the pitch hit. So there's Al, the pitch hit. And then, like I say, Joe will come in the pitch run for Sam. And Joe Torre will come in to hit. Get some speed on here. Maybe a double scores John from first. And there's John. So we got 1 out. John down at first now. Al Spangler up to bat. He's batting .329 on the year, folks, with no home runs and 11 RBIs. Like I say, a double probably scores John from first. Can Al come through here, folks? And that's going to be a swing and a miss probably. Yes, it is. Bob Gibson bears down, strikes Al out. Now we got 2 outs and a runner at first. And it's all up to Lee May here. Can Lee get a base hit here and keep this inning alive? He is 0 for 3. He struck out twice and popped up the third. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Boyer fires across the diamond. He gets Lee out. And that is it for the Braves in the top of the 8th. Like I say, Joe Torre will come out here and catch. And then we'll need a new pitcher for the Braves. See who's going to come out here and pitch. You got the righty, lefty, righty coming up. So might be Tony coming out of the bullpen here. Maybe it'll be McKenzie. When was the last time Mack or Notebook pitched? It's been a while. So let's see here. I think they'll go with Don here. It's been a while since he's pitched, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Don's going to come out of the bullpen. Try to keep this a tie ball game. And then we got to put Joe in here in the 8th spot. And there's Joe. He'll bat in the 8th spot and stay in as the catcher. All righty. Don, this will be his 33rd game. He's got a 2.93 ERA. He's got an 8-5 record. He's got 2 saves on the year. He'll be facing Javier, White, and Boyer, 2, 3, 4 hitters. Javier is 0 for 2. He is grounded out, blown out, and walked the last time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Lee May in right field for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. Here comes Bill White now. And Bill, he is 0 for 3, struck out, grounded out, and reached on a fielder's choice. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice piece of pitching by Don. Now it'll bring up Ken Boyer now. Ken Boyer has done the damage. He's drove in the only run. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI, single, and a triple. Struck out his last time up. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. And that ball is driven into the gap in right field. That bounces off the wall. And Ken Boyer's got himself a triple, a double. All he needs now is a home run for the cycle. Hopefully he doesn't get another chance at it. And that'll bring up Tim Schaefer, his first at bat since coming into the game after Oliver got kicked out for arguing that stolen base. He's batting .256. He's got a homer and 13 RBIs on the year. Here's the pitch to Jimmy. And that's going to be a lazy fly ball out to Frank Thomas. So the 2-out double doesn't cost him. We go to the top of the 9th. We got the 2, 3, 4 hitters, Bowling, Matthews, and Aaron to face Gibson in the 9th here. Can they come through and get a run on the board, folks? Frank is 0 for 3. He's grounded out to second, short, and he's flown out to center. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field, a leadoff single. Bob Gibson's not too happy with that. They come out to talk to Gibson. He's telling them to get the hell back in the dugout. He's got this. So here comes Eddie Matthews up now. He's 0 for 2. He's walked, hopped up to the catcher, and flown out to center. Can Matthews come through here and give the Braves the lead, folks? And that's going to be a base on balls. And now you got Hank Aaron up. And this is Gibson's game to lose or win, I guess. I think his manager's about half intimidated to go back out for a second time and talk to him. They do got some pitchers thrown in the bullpen. They got Miller, and they got any lefties out there? They don't have a single left-handed pitcher in the bullpen. So Miller's up and Anderson's up. So here's old Hank Aaron with a runner in scoring position. He's got one of the 4 base hits. He singled the last time up and reached second on the air by Flood. Can Mr. Aaron deliver? And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. That's going to be, ain't going to be deep enough to get Bowling over the third. So now there's one out. Bowling down at second, Matthews at first. Here's the man that scored the only run of the game for the Braves, Joe Adcock's 1 for 2 with a home run off of Gibby, and he's walked. He did strike out his last time up against him. Hey, Doug, here's the pitch to Joe. Frank Bolin in scoring position, 1 out. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Now the Braves are down to the last out here in the 9th. Frank Thomas up. Can he get a 2-out base hit? He's 0 for 3. He struck out this last 2 times, grounded out the short into a double play his first time up. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Bocek over the short way to second. And the Braves strand 2 in the top of the 9th. And Gibson walks off the mound scouring. We go to the bottom of the 9th. James Tusky and Bocek do up here against Notebart. Charlie is 0 for 3, struck out, reached on a fielder's choice, and flew out to Aaron. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's out number 1 here in the 9th. Here comes Don Tusky up. And Don's 0 for 2. He walked, popped up the third, and struck out his last time up. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. Don back-to-back strikeouts here in the 9th. Can he strike the side up? Here's Jerry Bocek. Jerry struck out twice and grounded out the first. Here's the pitch to Jerry. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Don strikes out the side. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. We have extra extras. Read all about it. Extra innings. And Gibson is going to pitch the 10th inning, folks. He's due to lead off the bottom of the 10th. He's going to have to face McMillan, Torian, a pitch hitter for Don. And Roy is 0 for 3. He's grounded out and flew out the center twice. Can he get on and set the table here, folks? And he does. He squares this one up against Gibby. And that ball is driven into the gap in right field. And that's going to roll, hit the wall. And Mac's got a lead-off double against Gibson. And that'll bring up Joe Torrey. This is his first at bat. He came in after Sammy White was pitch run for. Joe's not having a good year. He can make up for it here. Only batting .237 on the year, folks. 7 home runs, 36 RBIs. Can he get a base hit here off of Gibson and drive in Roy? And we dropped the dice for the second time today. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, a typical year for Joe Torrey. He strikes him out. Now there's 1 out with Mac down there. We'll have a pitch hitter for Don. Let's see who they're going to bring off the bench this time. Is it going to be Mr. Boyd or Mac the Knife? I think they're going to go with Bob Boyd here, another lefty. See if he can drive in Mac from second. Bob Boyd's going to come in here. Can he come up with a 1-out base hit? Bob's batting .312 on the year. He has 1 RBI. Can he make it 2? Here's the pitch to Bob. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. And that's going to score McMillan. A pitch hit single by Bob Boyd. And the Braves take the lead here in the top of the 10th. And Boyd's down at first with 1 out. And we're back to the top of the order. And Lee May. Gibson's ready to throw one in Lee May's ear. He better watch out. Gibson is not a happy camper. Lee is 0 for 4, struck out, popped up the short, struck out, and grounded out the third. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 outs now. And that'll bring up Frank Bolin. Can Frank Bolin come up with a 2-out base hit and give the Braves some wiggle room? Old Don McMahon's warming up in the bullpen. Frank has one of the few hits off of Gibson today. Can he get another one? And no, that's going to be a fly ball out to Curt Flood. That'll end the inning. But Bob Boyd's pitch hit single puts the Braves on top, 2-1. And Don will come in the game. There'll be a pitch hitter for Gibson. Then back to the top of the order and Flood and Javier. I think this is going to be Don going for his 35th save of the year, I believe. I think he's got 34 on the year. It's either he's going for number 35 or 36. There's Don. This is Don's 46th appearance. He got a 2.3 ERA, a 1-4 record, 34 saves. So he's going for save number 35. And that'll be it for Bob Gibson. Let's see who's going to come out here and pitch hit against Don. He got some good lefties on the bench. And as a matter of fact, they're going to come out with the man. Dan the Man Musial was coming off the bench, folks. Can the man do his job here and get on base at least? Stan's batting .307 on the year. He's got 15 home runs, 56 RBIs. Here's the pitch, the Musial. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Joe Adcock. Joe takes it himself, touches first. That'll be out number 1 here in the 10th. We're back to the top of the order and Curt Flood. Kurt's got that leadoff single. He's 1 for 3. He's walked. He scored the only run for the Cardinals. And that's going to be a pop up down the left field line. Matthews makes a nice running catch down there and robs Flood of another base hit. Nice job by Matthews. Cardinals are down to their last out. Oh, Javier's up now. He's 0 for 3. He has a walk on this game. He's grounded out the third, flown out the right twice, and we just lost connection. That's no damn good. Alrighty, I believe we're back. Just lost connection. Alrighty, like I say, Javier's grounded out the third. He's flown out the right twice, and he's walked. Here's the pitch from Don. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Eddie Matthews. He takes his time, fires across to Joe Adcock, and that's your ball game, folks. What a pitcher's score here. The Bob and Bob show did not disappoint. We go 10 innings. The Braves win. Take a look at the box score. Good here, good. Because like I say, the screen went blank here for a minute, Tim. Yeah, it was a nice game, wasn't it, Tim? Like I say, hard to believe that Bob Gibson got out pitched. That's for sure. Poor Bob Henley doesn't get the decision, but what a great game by him. The Braves 2 runs on 6 hits and an error. The Cardinals 1 run on 4 hits and an error. And Joe Adcock with that home run And then Bob Boyd coming off the bench. That pitch hit RBI single. The Braves were 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position, left 6 men on base. Ken Boyer was the offense for the Cardinals. Flood got on in the first. Boyer brought him around the score. Oh, you're welcome, Bernie. It was a great game to do. And that was your only scoring. And they was 1 for 8. That was the only time they got a hit. They left 7 men on base. Like I say, poor Bob Henley doesn't get the win. I think he should have been named player of the game. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, walked 4, struck out 7. And he pitch for pitch kept up with Bob Gibson. Don comes in the game, pitches 2 innings, no Bart, 1 hit, struck out 4. He gets his 9th win of the year, goes to 9-5, and Don McMahon comes in, gets his 35th save, pitches the 9th inning, and poor Bob Gibson. Been that type of year for him. He goes to 6-13, pitches 10 innings, gives up 6 hits, 2 runs, walks 3, strikes out 11, and loses this game by 1 run. I wouldn't want to be around him at the clubhouse. Let's see here. We got the Cubbies traveling to Cincinnati, take on the Reds. The Reds are almost been eliminated. They can't afford to lose a single game the rest of the year, that's for sure. And they do. The Cubs win a close one. 7 runs on 9 hits and 2 errors for the Cubbies. The Reds 6 runs on 8 hits and no errors. And Ron 1 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Was it a grand slam? Let's take a look here. Go to the scorecard. It sure was a grand slam in the 8th inning to give the Cubbies the win. And who was the pitcher? They must just have taken out O'Toole. It was Bridges came in and gave up the grand slam. Sure. That probably just eliminated the Reds. Now you got the Phillies taking on the Dodgers out in LA in the Coliseum. You got Sandy Koufax pitching for them. Yeah, game just got over, Philip. See what happens out here in LA. And the Dodgers win easy. The Phillies only 1 run on 5 hits and 2 errors. And the Dodgers 5 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Now we need the Pirates to help the Braves out. They got the best pitcher, Joe Gibbon, on the mound for them. Can the Pirates help out the Braves here and beat these Giants out in San Francisco? And they do. They shut out the Giants. How about that, Joe Gibbon? They give him 4 runs on 10 hits. The Giants, no runs on 7 hits and no errors. So old Joe pitched around some messes, it would look like. Let's take a look here. He had runners on first and second, it looks like, in the third. A single in the fourth, got a double play in the sixth. So really, he scattered those hits pretty good. A triple to Cepeda, pitched around that in the second. So that was probably the only inning he's really threatened. You know, the rest of those hits, he straggled them out through the game. Good job by Joe Gibbon. The Braves will send him a thank you. They're almost making me a believer here that the Braves might actually win this pennant. I kept saying that I think the Giants are going to win it, but it ain't over yet. They still got to play the Giants 6 games. But I'm liking their chances. They get a nice lead going into those 6 games. Got the Giants now trailed by 7 games. The Reds are 12 games back. Let's take a look what the magic number is to eliminate the Reds. Two. The magic number for the Reds is 2. So, like I say, they're not out of it, but they're out of it. And what's the magic number for the G-Men? Magic number for them's down to 9. So it's single digits for the Braves to win this pennant. Everybody else has been eliminated. The Cardinals are now 18 games back. The Dodgers have been playing good ball. They've won 7 out of 10, 4 in a row. They're 18 and a half games back. Got ahead of the Cubbies now. The Cubbies are 19 games back. The Pirates are 23 games back. And the Phillies are 38 and a half games back. Clemente still leading the National League in the major leagues with a 366 batting average. Cepeda's still 1 home run ahead of Mays, and he's got 121 RBIs. Matthews got 113 behind him. Warren Spahn still leading with a 2.4 ERA. Now you got Burdette, Joey J, and Spahn tied with 17 wins, and Don just picked up his 35th save of the year. Cepeda still leading the league in MVP voting, and Warren Spahn is now ahead of Lou Burdette in the Cy Young voting. I want to thank Tim D, Philip Reynolds. Check out his channels doing History Maker Baseball. Bernie Strom says he's going to be on Saturday, folks, at 1 o'clock or 1:30? 1:30 Saturday. Check out his channel. Doug Hunt, I want to thank him for showing up tonight. And Thomas was the first one in the gate. Big clue. And what time is it, folks? 7:30. Let's see what the next game would be here. I think it's another Braves game. I think it's their last game against Cincinnati. I think it was only a 2-game series against the Cardinals here, and they got a 1-game series against Cincinnati. Because I think the Yankees are off the 13th. Yep. So we might be back on here in a little bit with the Braves taking on the Reds. You got Joey J pitching for the Reds against Carl Wheelie. So be looking out here, folks. Maybe here in about 20 to 30 minutes, we'll be back on here with the Reds and the Braves. Until next time, you all have a great evening, and you all take care.